Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys news: free agency takes a big bite out of the Dallas defensive line. The current players on the Cowboys' defensive line will need to step up in 2024, regardless of what happens in the draft and free agency. Whether there will be an addition to the unit in free agency and/or the 2024 NFL Draft is to be determined, but it wouldn't change what's going to be required of players like Mazi Smith, Chauncey Golston, Sam Williams, and Junior Fehoko, or those on the fringes of the roster such as Darrell Johnson and Carl Davis, who will be clawing to retain a roster seat all summer. Smith, the team's first-round pick in 2023, has the talent and strength to be a dominant force at nose tackle, but a drop in weight as a rookie and a slowed get-off hamstrung his performance, and it will be paramount that, without Hankins, Smith execute a 180-degree turn under the tutelage of Mike Zimmer. The run defense will all but depend on it, along with Golston helping Smith and Odigizua as both a run defender and pass rusher from the inside. Golston is entering a contract year, and that should provide added motivation to perform, while many signs pointing to the 26-year-old getting plenty of opportunities to try and do so, having shown promise on more than one occasion behind the now-departed veterans. It'll be a steeper slope to climb for Fehoko than that of Golston, considering the former didn't earn any burn as a rookie last season, but that won't be the case in year two. A fourth-round pick last April, Fehoko has a motor that won't quit and simply needs to refine his technique, though it'll be interesting to see if Zimmer views him more as a 3-tech, right of center, or support on the edge. And then there is Sam Williams, who now has a clear path to a lot more reps with the exit of Fowler, and Williams' talent is as unique as it is aggressive. He's proven capable in stopping the run, more than capable in rushing the passer, and an ability to wreak havoc on special teams, but he'll need to find balance between his aggression and drawing untimely penalties. 2025 NFL free agency: top players, QBs, potentially available. Sure, 2024 NFL free agency isn't even over yet. Players like Xavier Howard are still out there looking for new deals, but we're already taking an early look at the potential of the 2025 class. If you didn't land the playmaker you wanted this year, the good news is there should be plenty of options next March. I say should because a lot can change before we reach 2025. The majority of the top players currently primed for free agency will sign contract extensions well before next March. Another handful will end up with the franchise tag. Consider that guys like Jalen Hurts, extension; Nick Bosa, extension; Jarius Sneed, tag; Mike Evans, new deal before free agency, and even Lamar Jackson, new deal after getting tagged last March, were all on my early 2024 list at this time last year. So take this with a grain of salt because the free agent class will look very different next spring. Even so, we broke down the best of the best currently slated to hit the open market across a few different categories, including big-name quarterbacks and impact players on both sides of the ball. Each player's age, positional value, expected future production, and scheme versatility are factored in here, and restricted and exclusive free agents are not included. And one more important note: players who are eligible for a fifth-year option for 2025 first-round picks from the 2021 draft class are not included. That includes quarterback Trevor Lawrence, wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase, and cornerback Pat Surtain too, among others. Cowboys linked to disgruntled free agent coming off $45 million deal. Cowboys potential bargain signing Carl Lawson. It's been slow going on the free agent front of the Dallas Cowboys this offseason, which apparently has been the plan all along at the Star. A handful of starters has exited and a handful of players have re-signed, but there has been but one addition of note, with former Chargers linebacker Eric Kendricks added to the mix after he initially agreed to a deal with the 49ers. That's pretty much the sum total of the Cowboys' offseason thus far. But then, Team VP Stephen Jones said all along that was the plan for he and his father, owner Jerry Jones. "I don't look at it as the next few weeks," he said. I look at it as all the way up and through the season, in terms of how we continue to address this. As we all see, that first negotiating day is wild and it's big, big, big dollars. But things are calming down now. And that's where we think we can be efficient and do good things. Now, one good thing the Cowboys could do is shore up their pass rush. And Bleacher Report has a suggestion for doing so, adding underused edge rusher Carl Lawson, a free agent after languishing with the Jets last season, to the roster. In an article titled, "Bargain Contracts Cowboys Must Consider in 2024 NFL Free Agency," analyst Alex Ballentine tabbed Lawson as number 1 on the list, a player who is probably too good to still be on the market. The Cowboys have just around $8 million on the books and might need to create more space going forward. They'll need money to sign draft picks, but Lawson could be had on the cheap. Ballentine proposes a 1-year, $3 million contract for Lawson, who came back from a torn Achilles in 2021 with the best season of his career, and first with the Jets, in 2022, including 7.0 sacks. Wrote Ballentine of the Cowboys' need for a pass rusher, the Cowboys could go to the draft to address the need, but some veterans on the market could help right away. One that stands out as a fit is Carl Lawson. The 28-year-old has a connection to new Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. The defensive end played for Zimmer when the two were with the Cincinnati Bengals. Lawson left for the Jets in 2022 free agency and enjoyed his best season with 7 sacks and 24 quarterback hits. However, he was a non-factor for the Jets' defense this season. In fact, Lawson went from a 17-game starter to playing just 6 games, with no starts to his credit. The Jets' defense was good and deep at pass rusher. Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens, and Lawson was squeezed, despite being in the final year of a 3-year, $45 million contract. He was not happy about it. He sounded off on his benching last year, telling reporters, "I've always wanted to help the Jets win. I've always wanted to be the best version of myself for the team. But at the end of the day, I do want to be a football player, I do want to produce and I do want to help, because I'm a football player, not a cheerleader, so that's kind of where my head is at with that." He wants to prove he can still play. The Cowboys would be the perfect team for which to do that. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Carl Lawson? Leave your opinion in the comments.